Have you ever felt like you're the only one on your team actually pushing the boulder up the hill? Well, we're about to break down a blueprint that completely flips that script. We're talking about a system that scales itself, so you don't have to do all the heavy lifting.
It's a super common frustration, right? You build up some good momentum, things are finally humming along, and then, bam, you hit a wall. Growth just stalls out. But what if the reason for that is way simpler and maybe more fundamental than we think?
This quote just nails it. We have this idea that a leader has to be the star player, the best performer on the field. But this system argues the total opposite. Real, scalable leadership isn't about your performance. It's about empowering everyone else's. So, let's dive into this core idea, what we're calling the leader's growth paradox. This is all about making a crucial mental shift from being the main performer to becoming the architect of a system that can actually run without you.
And here is the difference, laid out plain and simple. The performer, they talk for their team, and that creates followers. The problem is the team's growth totally depends on them, but the system builder, they teach their team how to talk, which creates more leaders and a system that can sustain itself. See the difference? One's a bottleneck, the other is a powerful engine.
Now, what's really fascinating is how a surprisingly simple little tool can unlock this whole system. Seriously, it's not about memorizing complex scripts or sitting through hours of training. It's all about mastering a short, 45-second key.
It all starts with this one number, 45. 45 seconds. That's all the time you need to just open a door to a conversation. And let's be crystal clear, the goal is not to close a sale or convince anyone of anything. It's just to create a little bit of curiosity.
And there you have it. The 45-second presentation is a tool with one and only one purpose, to get the other person interested enough to say, okay, tell me more. That is the only goal. You're not selling, you're inviting.
This right here is the magic formula. It's a super simple, totally repeatable structure that anyone can learn. It's broken into 4 parts: who, what, why, and next. Each piece has a very specific job and a time limit, which keeps the message punchy and, most importantly, easy for anyone to duplicate.
Okay, so let's move to the engine room and see how this little tool builds into a powerful growth system. See, it's not enough for people to just know the key. They have to be coached on it effectively. This is exactly where the duplication engine comes into play.
This 4-level framework is how you guarantee quality and consistency as your team starts to scale. It's a clear progression. You model the behavior, you mirror it back with good feedback, you multiply your efforts by creating new coaches, and you monitor the right activities to keep that engine humming along. Everything starts with modeling. And the first rule is so simple. Your team will do what you do, not what you say. If your presentation is long and complicated and all over the place, guess what? Theirs will be too. You have to be the perfect model of clarity and simplicity.
Now, this next step, mirroring, is a total game changer for coaching. Most leaders just criticize. Great leaders learn to mirror. It's a feedback method where you reflect what you heard, you praise what worked, and you offer just one small tweak. It builds confidence through practice instead of tearing people down.
This is exactly what mirroring sounds like in action. You affirm the positive part. Great structure. You give them a single actionable suggestion. If you shorten the third sentence, and then, this is crucial, you invite them to go again immediately. Let's try again. This creates this really safe loop of practice and rapid improvement.
So, the ultimate goal here is to basically work yourself out of a job. You multiply your impact by empowering your team members to become coaches themselves. And how do you make sure that happens? You monitor what actually matters, the daily controllable actions that lead to growth, not just the final results like sales volume.
Okay, so what does this all look like in the real world? Let's make this framework really concrete and see how you can put it into action with your team, like starting today. Think about this. A brand new team member can be fully competent in just 1 week by following a structured plan just like this one. It breaks the whole learning process down into these manageable daily steps, from writing a rough draft all the way to presenting confidently without any notes. It's a system, not a suggestion.
And, it's just as important to avoid these common traps. The single biggest mistake leaders make? Complexity. It's so tempting to show off how much you know, but every single piece of extra information you add just makes the system harder to duplicate. Your goal isn't to be impressive, it's to be simple and consistent. And finally, let's talk about the philosophy that really powers this entire engine. because it all boils down to one simple truth. What you measure is what you get.
This slide really gets to the heart of the duplication mindset. Just look at the shift in focus. We can't directly control our weekly income or how many people sign up, but we absolutely can control how many 45-second talks we give, how many invites we send out, and how many coaching sessions we lead. You build a winning team by celebrating the right actions, not just the final outcomes.
So when you boil it all down, these three things are the true job description of a leader in this kind of system. Your job is not to be the superstar. It's to be the guardian of the standard, the reducer of complexity, and the one who creates a system where an average person can plug in and have a real shot at success.
And that right there is the crucial takeaway. Your personal talent is honestly irrelevant if your team can't replicate your success. What works for you might just be too complex for them. So the real question, the one this entire blueprint is designed to answer, is this. Is your system truly built to duplicate?